Welcome to Unlock Your Leadership, a life-changing audiobook written by Richard J. Martin and proudly brought to you by Fearless Audio. This is not just a book. This is a journey into the leader that already lives inside you. Whether you're young or old, starting fresh or rebuilding, unsure or ready to rise, this book was written for you. Because leadership isn't just for the few. It's not only for CEOs, presidents, or people on stages. True leadership begins within. It's about leading your life with courage, with purpose, and with heart, and then using that strength to lift others. In Unlock Your Leadership, you'll discover how to build confidence, face challenges with boldness, stay calm under pressure, and become the kind of leader who doesn't just talk, but inspires real change. Step by step, word by word, this audiobook will help you unlock your full potential and become a leader who truly makes a difference. Every chapter is filled with simple, powerful truths, easy to understand, yet deeply inspiring. You don't need fancy words or a special background. All you need is a willingness to grow and a desire to lead your life with meaning. If you've ever felt like there's something more inside you, something strong, something brave, something waiting, then you're in the right place. This audiobook will help you find it, grow it, and share it with the world. So now, take a deep breath. Relax, focus, and let these words begin to shape your future. And if you find value, motivation, or hope in this book, we kindly ask you to support this channel, Fearless Audio. Subscribe, like, and share it with others. Help us spread messages that uplift, awaken, and transform. Together, we can help more people unlock the leader within. Let's begin. Let's unlock your leadership. Let's change the world, starting with you. This is Fearless Audio, where your journey to power, purpose, and personal greatness begins. Introduction. Leadership is already inside you. You don't have to wait for someone to call you a leader to become one. You don't need a big title, a corner office, or years of experience. True leadership doesn't begin with power or position. It begins with belief. It starts the moment you decide to take responsibility for your life and make a difference in the world around you. Every one of us has leadership potential. It's not something reserved for the few. It's already inside you, waiting to be awakened. The problem is, too many people hold back. They think they're not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough to lead. But that's just fear talking. Real leaders feel fear too. They just choose to move forward anyway. Leadership is about influence. It's about inspiring others by the way you live, work, speak, and serve. It's about standing up when it's hard, lifting others when they're down, and showing courage even when you feel unsure. The world needs more people like that, people like you. This book is your guide to unlocking the leader within. It's written in simple language with powerful messages to help you believe in yourself, build your confidence, and start leading in your own life. Whether you lead a team, a family, a classroom, or just yourself, you have a chance to make a difference every single day. You don't have to be perfect to lead. You just have to be willing to grow, willing to take action, willing to lead by example. This is not just about changing the way you think, it's about changing the way you live. Are you ready? Because your leadership journey starts now, and the world is waiting for the leader only you can be. Chapter 1, The Leader Within. Leadership doesn't begin the moment someone gives you a title. It doesn't start when you get a promotion, a degree, or the spotlight. Leadership starts inside of you when you begin to believe that your life matters, that your voice has value, and that your actions can shape the future. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't need a certain background, personality, or education. You only need one thing, the decision to lead. Many people never realize they're already a leader. They think I'm just a student, or I'm just a worker, or I'm just a stay-at-home parent. But the truth is, leadership has nothing to do with being just anything. Leadership is about influence. And every day you influence people whether you realize it or not. You influence your friends with your words. You influence your family with your attitude. You influence your coworkers with your work ethic. You influence strangers with your kindness or your silence. So ask yourself, how am I leading right now in my own life? Am I showing others what strength looks like? Am I being someone who brings light into dark moments? Am I lifting others when they're down? Or am I staying quiet, waiting for someone else to do it? You don't have to be loud to be a leader. You don't have to be the smartest or the most experienced. What you need is heart. You need the courage to care. You need the willingness to act. You need to stop waiting and start becoming. Let's look at someone you may not expect, a young woman working at a small coffee shop. She doesn't run a business or speak on a stage, but every morning she smiles at every customer. She remembers names. She listens to people. When someone looks upset, she offers kind words. One day, an elderly man told her that her kindness was the only bright part of his week. That young woman didn't wear a name tag that said leader, but she was leading in the most powerful way, through love and consistency. Leadership doesn't always look dramatic. It's not always bold speeches or big decisions. Sometimes it's doing the right thing when nobody is watching. It's choosing honesty over shortcuts. It's speaking up for someone who can't. It's staying calm in a crisis. These moments shape who you are and show others who they can become. When you choose to lead yourself well, you open the door for others to follow. People notice when someone lives with purpose. They're drawn to those who are confident, calm, and clear. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to be perfect. Leaders are not perfect. They're real. They make mistakes. They fall, but they get back up. They learn. They grow. They keep going. Take another example. A teenager named Luis who grew up in a rough neighborhood. He could have taken the easy road, joined a gang, dropped out of school, given into anger. But Luis had a little sister who looked up to him. One day, he realized that she was watching everything he did. So, he made a choice. He started studying harder, stayed away from trouble, and applied for college. When his friends asked why, he simply said, "Because she needs to see something different." That's leadership. It's deciding that your life is about more than just you. Everyone is born with the seed of leadership. But seeds don't grow on their own. They need light. They need water. They need care. Just like your leadership needs effort. If you want to lead others, you must first lead yourself with discipline, with vision, and with love. One of the greatest lies is that leaders are born, not made. But think about the people you admire. Were they born fearless? No. They faced fear and kept going. Were they born wise? No. They made mistakes, learned, and became wiser. Were they born confident? No. They built confidence by showing up day after day. You become a leader by showing up for yourself and others. Every small act matters. Choosing kindness over anger. Choosing courage over fear. Choosing truth over popularity. These moments build your strength like bricks in a foundation. There's another powerful example. A single mother named Grace who worked 2 jobs to support her kids. Every night she came home tired, but she helped with homework, cooked dinner, and made sure her kids felt loved. One day her son wrote an essay about his hero, and he chose her. He said, "She never gives up. That's what a leader is." Grace never gave herself credit. She thought she was just surviving, but her strength, her love, her quiet commitment, it inspired a new generation. Leadership is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up in small acts of faithfulness. It grows in the dark, in the hard times, in the quiet decisions no one sees. But here's the truth. The world needs more leaders like you. Not perfect people, not superheroes, but real humans who care, who serve, who take responsibility, and bring hope. You might be thinking, "But I'm not ready." That's okay. No one ever really feels ready. Leadership doesn't begin when you feel ready. It begins when you say, "I will try." It begins when you take one small step toward growth, then another. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Lead with kindness. Lead with truth. Lead with courage. You are more powerful than you know. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Your leadership matters. The world needs leaders who don't just talk about change, but become the change. And that begins with one simple decision: to believe in the leader already inside you. So stand up, step forward, lead on. Because leadership isn't about being the best, it's about bringing out the best in yourself and in others. And that journey starts right here. Chapter 2, Vision is the first step. Every great leader starts with a vision. Before they take action, before they build a team, before they speak a single word, they see something in their mind, a future that doesn't yet exist, but could. Vision is the picture of what could be, and it's the fuel that drives leadership forward. Without a vision, it's easy to get lost. You end up living day by day without direction, just surviving instead of building. But when you have a vision, you have purpose, you have focus, you have a reason to keep going, even when things get tough. Vision gives your life meaning, and that's where true leadership begins. Imagine driving a car with no destination. You might move, but you won't get anywhere that matters. You'll waste energy and time. That's what it's like to live without vision. You wake up, go through the motions, and wonder why you feel empty. A vision gives your life a goal, a destination to move toward, and a reason to wake up with passion. One powerful example is a man named Jacob. He worked in a small repair shop fixing bicycles. Most people saw it as just a job, but Jacob had a bigger dream. He believed he could one day open a training center to teach underprivileged kids how to fix bikes, giving them skills and purpose. Every day after work, he saved money, studied business, and volunteered to teach kids on weekends. Years later, his vision became real. His shop became a place of hope, not just repairs. People came from all over the city to learn and grow. That vision started when Jacob saw more than what was in front of him. He saw what could be. That's the power of vision. It transforms the ordinary into something meaningful. It turns work into mission. It turns effort into legacy. Now you might be wondering, how do I find my vision? You don't have to have all the answers today. Vision doesn't always come in a loud voice or a big moment. Sometimes it starts as a whisper, a quiet feeling in your heart that says, there's something more. It can come from a problem you want to solve, a pain you want to heal, or a dream that keeps returning to your mind. Ask yourself, what breaks your heart? What excites you? What would you do if fear wasn't holding you back? These questions can help uncover the vision buried inside you. Another example is Fatima, a young woman who grew up in a community where few girls stayed in school. She noticed how many of her friends dropped out early because of lack of support and belief. That hurt her. Instead of just feeling sad, she decided to act. Her vision was clear: create a mentorship program to help young girls stay in school and believe in themselves. She started with only a few students in a borrowed classroom, but her heart was full of purpose. Within a few years, her program expanded across cities, and hundreds of girls were finishing school with pride and courage. Her vision created change. Your vision doesn't have to be huge to matter. You don't have to change the whole world to be a leader. Sometimes changing one life is enough. What matters is that your vision is true to you, something that wakes you up and keeps you going, something that feels bigger than just making money or getting attention, something with soul. Vision also gives you strength when things go wrong. Let's be honest, life isn't easy. There will be challenges, doubts, and moments when quitting seems easier. But when your vision is clear, it pulls you forward. It reminds you why you started. It gives you a reason to keep climbing when the road gets steep. Think of Rosa, a nurse who worked night shifts in a crowded hospital. She often saw elderly patients who had no visitors, no comfort, no warmth. That deeply affected her. She started bringing them small gifts, books, snacks, handwritten notes. Soon, other nurses joined her. Then volunteers came in. Eventually, she helped start a nonprofit that matched lonely patients with visitors and care partners. She never planned to lead a movement. She just followed a vision that came from her heart. The truth is, vision doesn't always come with a spotlight. It might come quietly in a moment of pain or in a moment of hope. But when you listen to it and you act on it, you begin to step into leadership. Let your vision be your guide. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Think about it every day. Let it shape your choices and focus your energy. Your vision will give you direction when the path gets hard, and it will help you say no to distractions and yes to your purpose. You also need to protect your vision. Not everyone will see what you see. Some will doubt you. Some will try to talk you out of it. That's okay. Your vision was given to you, not to them. You don't need everyone to believe in it. You just need to believe in it enough to keep moving. A powerful example is Darnell, a man who spent years in prison. During his time there, he began reading, reflecting, and thinking about how many men came in and out of the system without hope. He imagined building a center to help former inmates learn life skills and get jobs. After his release, people laughed at him. They said, "You've been in prison. Who's going to trust you? But he didn't quit. He worked hard, stayed clean, and built connections. 5 years later, he opened his first support center. Now he mentors others and helps them find second chances. His vision turned pain into purpose. This is what leaders do. They see something more, even when others don't. They take the first step, even when the path isn't clear. They move forward, not because it's easy, but because their vision gives them strength. You don't have to know everything today. You don't need a full plan. You just need to start with the vision, even if it's small, even if it's just in your heart, because that vision will grow. And as it grows, you will grow too. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Your vision doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be yours. Trust it, follow it, and let it unlock the leader that the world has been waiting for. Remember, vision is the first step, and your journey as a leader begins when you take that step today. Chapter 3, Lead Yourself First. One of the greatest truths about leadership is this: before you can lead others, you must first lead yourself. You cannot guide others on a path that you are not walking yourself. People don't follow what you say, they follow what you do. If you want to unlock the leader within, you must start with your own life. Leading yourself means taking control of your actions, your mindset, and your direction. It means not waiting for someone else to fix your life. It means being honest with yourself, holding yourself accountable, and choosing growth over comfort. You become the kind of person others look to, not because you're perfect, but because you're responsible. Think about a ship on the ocean. If the captain doesn't know where they're going, doesn't steer, and doesn't prepare for storms, the whole crew suffers. That's what happens when people try to lead others without leading themselves first. They end up lost, confused, or overwhelmed, and those who follow them feel the same way. Self-leadership is about discipline, not the kind that feels harsh or cold, but the kind that brings strength and structure to your life. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to work on your goals. It's saying no to distractions. It's making the right choices, not just the easy ones. Let's take the story of Hannah, a young artist who dreamed of opening her own studio. She had talent, but she lacked discipline. She would start projects and never finish them. She would skip days of practice and let self-doubt take over. One day, she realized that if she didn't take herself seriously, no one else would. So she made a decision. She would treat her dreams like a job. She created a schedule, stuck to her goals, and pushed through the hard days. Years later, she opened her own studio, not because she got lucky, but because she led herself with purpose. Self-leadership also means managing your thoughts. Your mind is powerful. What you believe about yourself shapes what you do. If you keep telling yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," or "I always fail," you'll act in ways that match those beliefs. But when you start telling yourself, "I can grow, I can learn, I am worthy," you begin to rise. Our thoughts create our actions, and our actions create our lives. That's why leaders train their minds. They choose to feed their faith, not their fear. They focus on solutions, not just problems. They take control of their attitude, even when circumstances are tough. Another example is Jordan, a former athlete who suffered an injury that ended his sports career. For a while, he fell into a dark place. He felt lost, bitter, and hopeless. But one day, he realized he still had control over one thing: his mindset. He started reading personal growth books, going to therapy, and journaling every day. Over time, he rebuilt his life and became a motivational coach, helping others find their strength after setbacks. His leadership began the moment he stopped blaming the world and started taking charge of his mind. Self-leadership also involves emotional control. Leaders feel deeply, but they don't let emotions control them. They know how to pause, reflect, and respond wisely instead of reacting in anger or fear. This takes practice. It's not always easy, but every time you choose patience over rage, clarity over confusion, and calm over panic, you become stronger. Leaders also take care of their bodies and well-being. You can't lead others if you're constantly exhausted, burnt out, or sick. Self-care is not selfish, it's smart. Eat well, move your body, get enough sleep, take breaks. These small habits give you the energy and clarity to serve others better. There's a story of May, a school teacher who loved her job but felt completely drained. She was always tired, stressed, and short-tempered with her students. One day, she decided to make a change. She started going for morning walks, eating healthier meals, and setting boundaries for rest. The difference was amazing. Not only did she feel better, but her students noticed the change too. Her energy was back. Her smile returned. She was leading again, simply by taking care of herself. Another important part of self-leadership is honesty. Leaders face the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. They ask themselves, where am I falling short? What habits are holding me back? What do I need to improve? This kind of honesty can hurt at first, but it also heals. It helps you grow into someone better, someone who can truly lead with strength and wisdom. This also means owning your mistakes. No one gets it right all the time. But when you take responsibility instead of making excuses, you build trust with yourself and others. Leaders don't blame, they learn. Every failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stopping point. Let's look at Sam, a small business owner who lost his first shop due to poor planning and impulsive spending. For a while, he blamed the economy and his team. But deep down, he knew he had made bad choices. Instead of giving up, he studied his mistakes, asked for advice, and started over, this time with discipline and wisdom. His second business thrived. Why? Because he learned to lead himself first. Leading yourself also means staying committed to your values. The world will try to pull you in different directions. Some people will tempt you to cut corners or chase easy success. But a true leader stands firm. When you know what you believe in, honesty, kindness, hard work, you make decisions with clarity and strength. Your values become your compass. Finally, self-leadership is about growth. Leaders never stop learning. They read, listen, reflect, and improve. They don't see themselves as finished. They see themselves as becoming. This hunger to grow keeps them sharp and ready for new challenges. Think of Nina, a factory worker who took night classes to improve her skills. She didn't wait for someone to tell her she was a leader. She acted like one. Over time, her company noticed her dedication. She was promoted to team leader, then manager, all because she chose to grow, even when no one was watching. That's the secret of real leadership. It begins in the unseen places, when no one is cheering you on, when no one is watching, when it's just you and your choices. Every time you choose growth, responsibility, and truth, you become the kind of leader the world needs. So start with yourself. Lead your thoughts, lead your habits, lead your actions. Be the kind of person you would want to follow, because the more you lead yourself, the more powerfully you can lead others. Leadership is not about control. It's about commitment, and that commitment starts within you. Lead yourself first, and the rest will follow. Chapter 4. Build trust through your actions. Leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about trust. People follow those they trust, and trust is not something you can demand. It's something you earn. One step at a time, one action at a time. No matter how smart you are, how loud you speak, or how many ideas you have, if people don't trust you, they won't follow you for long. Trust is the foundation of leadership. Without it, everything else falls apart. And the strongest way to build trust is through your actions, not promises, not speeches, but consistent, honest, and reliable behavior. Think about the people you trust most in your life. Why do you trust them? Most likely it's because they've shown up for you. They've kept their word. They've been honest, even when it was hard. They've proven themselves over time. That's what great leaders do. They prove themselves through steady, trustworthy action. Imagine a man named Elias. He worked as a manager in a construction company. When he got the job, people didn't trust him right away. They had seen other managers make promises and then disappear. But Elias did something different. He listened more than he talked. He showed up early every day. He helped his team carry heavy tools when needed. He gave credit instead of taking it. Slowly, his team began to trust him, not because he had authority, but because his actions spoke louder than any title. That's the power of consistent, humble leadership. Trust begins with honesty. As a leader, you must tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. If something goes wrong, admit it. If you don't know the answer, say so. If you make a mistake, own it. People don't expect perfection, but they do expect honesty. When you hide things or blame others, you break the very bridge you're trying to build. Leaders who are honest create safe spaces. Their team knows I can trust this person. They'll be real with me. And when people feel safe, they give their best. They open up, they work harder, they believe. Let's talk about Anna, a volunteer leader at a local community center. She was in charge of organizing food drives and helping families in need. One time, she miscalculated supplies and many families didn't get food on time. Instead of blaming others, she stood in front of everyone and said, "This was my mistake. I'm sorry. I'll fix it." And she did. The next event was better than ever. And because of her honesty, people respected her more, not less. Another part of trust is being consistent. Anyone can do the right thing once, but leaders do the right thing again and again. They're reliable. They show up when they say they will. They do what they promise. They treat people with respect every single time. That's how trust grows. People are always watching, even when you think they're not. They notice if you keep your word. They notice how you treat others when no one's looking. They notice if you say one thing and do another. A small act of dishonesty can break months of trust, but small acts of integrity, done over and over, build a strong reputation. Consider Rahul, a supervisor at a call center. He wasn't flashy or loud, but he was steady. Every time his team had a problem, he was there to help. If someone needed support, he listened. If he promised something, he followed through. Over time, people knew. If Rahul says it, it's real. That kind of leader doesn't have to shout. Their actions speak for them. Trust is also built through fairness. Great leaders treat everyone with respect. No favorites, no hidden agendas. They listen to different voices. They make sure everyone feels seen and valued. When people feel you care about them, not just what they can do for you, they trust you more deeply. A strong example is Sophia, who led a team of designers in a startup. One day, two team members had a disagreement over a project. Instead of taking sides or ignoring it, Sophia brought them together. She listened to both stories without judgment. Then she helped them find common ground. Her fairness didn't just solve a problem, it built trust among the whole team. They saw her as someone who would lead with justice and care. Building trust also means being transparent. Don't keep people in the dark. Share what's happening, even if it's tough news. Let them understand the why behind decisions. When you're open, people feel respected. They feel like partners, not just followers. Trust takes time, and it's fragile. It can take years to build and seconds to break. That's why leaders must protect it carefully. Don't play games with people's emotions. Don't use others for your gain. Be the kind of leader who lifts others, not just yourself. And here's something important. Building trust with others starts with trusting yourself. Believe in your own values. Be proud of your word. When you trust yourself to do what's right, you naturally become someone others trust too. Self-respect leads to outer respect. Inner honesty leads to outward honesty. Everything begins on the inside. Leadership is not just about decisions, it's about relationships, and every strong relationship is built on trust. Without it, your vision won't spread, your influence won't grow, your team won't stay loyal. But with it, you can lead through anything, change, challenge, even crisis. Let's look at a final story. Jerome, a youth coach in a tough neighborhood. Many kids he worked with had seen adults break promises. They didn't trust easily, but Jerome kept showing up. Rain or shine, he was there. He brought snacks when no one asked. He remembered birthdays. He listened without judgment. Years later, those same kids came back as adults and said, "You changed my life," not with big speeches, but by being there. That's the real power of trust. So how do you build trust through action? Keep your promises, even the small ones. Be honest, even when it's hard. Be consistent, even when it's boring. Be fair, even when it's easier not to be. Be open, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Be respectful, even when others are not. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. Trust doesn't come from power, it comes from character. And the stronger your character, the more your leadership will grow. You may not be able to control everything in life, but you can control your actions. Choose actions that build bridges, not walls. Choose to lead with integrity, not image. Choose to live in a way that earns the respect of others, not just once, but every day. Because when people trust you, they follow you, not out of fear, but out of belief. And that kind of leadership lasts. Build trust through your actions. Let your life speak so clearly that others can't help but listen. That's how true leaders are made. Chapter 5. Communicate with clarity and purpose. Great leaders are great communicators, not because they use big words or fancy speeches, but because they know how to speak clearly, honestly, and with purpose. When you communicate well, people understand your vision, feel your passion, and trust your direction. Poor communication causes confusion, fear, and division, but clear communication builds unity, trust, and strong relationships. Leadership is not just about giving orders. It's about inspiring people, sharing ideas, and listening with your heart. True communication is a two-way street. It's not just about talking. It's also about listening. When people feel heard, they feel valued. When people understand you, they follow you with confidence. Let's start with clarity. Clarity means being simple and direct. Leaders don't try to sound impressive. They try to be understood. They don't beat around the bush. They get to the point. This doesn't mean being harsh or cold. It means being kind but clear. Whether you're giving instructions, sharing a vision, or solving a problem, your message must be easy to follow. Think about a leader named Carla who ran a small cafe. She had big dreams for her team, but her messages were often vague. She would say things like, "We need to do better," or "Let's improve service," without explaining how. Her team felt confused and unsure of what to do. Then Carla made a change. She started holding short meetings with specific goals. She said things like, "Today, let's greet every customer with a smile," and "Let's keep all tables clean within 5 minutes after someone leaves." These small, clear steps helped her team understand what success looked like. The cafe became a happier and more successful place, not because of magic, but because of clear leadership. Purposeful communication also matters. Every time you speak as a leader, ask yourself, why am I saying this? What is my goal? Your words should always lift, guide, or encourage. Don't speak just to fill silence. Don't speak to show off. Speak to bring value. Let's consider a coach named Leo. He worked with young athletes. Every time he gave feedback, he made sure it was helpful and hopeful. Instead of saying, "You're doing it wrong," he would say, "Try this instead. It might help you improve." His players listened because they knew he cared. His purpose was to build them up, not tear them down. That's what makes a leader's words powerful. They come from a heart that wants to help. Listening is another key to strong communication. Many leaders fail because they only want to be heard. They don't want to hear. But listening is one of the most powerful tools a leader can use. It shows respect. It shows humility. It shows that you don't think you know everything and that you're open to learning from others. Good leaders ask questions like, "What do you think?" or "How can we make this better?" They create space for others to speak. And when someone talks, they don't interrupt or judge. They listen deeply. They nod. They reflect. They take the feedback seriously. When people feel heard, they feel empowered. And empowered people do amazing things. Let's talk about Tessa, a project leader in a tech company. She had a diverse team with lots of ideas. Instead of controlling every decision, she made it a habit to hold open sessions where everyone could share thoughts. She listened, took notes, and often used her team's ideas. This didn't make her weaker as a leader. It made her stronger. Her team felt involved and motivated, and they worked harder because they knew their voices mattered. Another important part of communication is your tone. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. You can say the right words in the wrong way and still hurt someone, but when you speak with kindness, calmness, and care, people receive your message better. Even tough feedback can be given with love. Think about the power of a calm voice during chaos. Imagine a fire alarm goes off. One person panics and yells, "We're all going to die." Another person says, "Stay calm, follow me, we'll get out safely." Who do you follow? Of course, the second one. Why? Because calm communication builds trust. That's what great leaders do. They bring peace with their words, even in stormy times. Body language is also a part of how you communicate. People read your face, your hands, your posture. If you say you care, but look distracted, people won't believe you. If you say you're confident, but you slouch or avoid eye contact, people sense your doubt. Your body should match your message. Practice showing up fully. Make eye contact. Smile when appropriate. Use open hands instead of crossing your arms. These small signs speak louder than you think. They show that you are present, open, and real. Let's also talk about timing. Good leaders know when to speak. Sometimes silence is powerful. Sometimes a kind word at the right moment can heal a heart. Timing takes wisdom. If someone is angry, it might not be the best time to correct them. If someone is grieving, maybe they just need your presence, not your advice. Learn to read the moment. Ask yourself, what does this person need right now? Consider Imran, a school principal. One of his teachers was going through a tough time after losing a family member. Instead of talking about deadlines and work, Imran simply sat with her, gave her space to share, and offered support. That simple act of human understanding made her feel respected and cared for. Later, she said that moment meant more to her than anything he'd ever said before. Leaders must also learn to communicate across differences. People come from different cultures, backgrounds, and personalities. What works for one may not work for another. Great leaders learn to adjust their style. They don't expect everyone to understand them. They make the effort to understand others. This takes patience and empathy. One final key is to mean what you say. Don't make empty promises. Don't say things just to sound good. Be real. People respect leaders who are honest and authentic, even if they're not perfect. When your words match your actions, your voice becomes stronger. In today's world, communication happens in many ways, face-to-face, through messages, on video calls, and social media. No matter the platform, your message must stay true. Don't fake your voice online and act differently in person. Stay consistent. Be someone people can believe in, no matter where they hear you. To grow as a communicator, you don't need to be loud. You don't need to be a great public speaker. You just need to be clear, kind, and true. Read books, practice speaking, record yourself, or ask for feedback. These simple steps help you grow. And the better you communicate, the stronger your leadership becomes. To sum it up, communicate with clarity and purpose. Speak simply and clearly. Listen more than you talk. Let your tone match your heart. Use your body language wisely. Choose the right time to speak. Be real, not perfect. Adjust to others' needs. Stay consistent across platforms. Leadership is built on connection, and communication is the bridge to connection. Build that bridge with care. Strengthen it with truth. Use your words to lift others, to guide them, to move them forward. Because when you speak with purpose and listen with love, your voice becomes a light. And that light can guide others through any darkness. Communicate with clarity. Communicate with heart. That's how leaders change the world, one word at a time. Chapter 6. Lead with vision, not just plans. Every great leader has something that moves them deep inside, a vision. A vision is not just a plan or a list of goals. It's a picture of a better future. It's a dream that pulls you forward. It gives you direction when the path is unclear. It gives you hope when times get tough. Vision is the fire inside you that says, there's something better ahead, and I'm going to help others get there. Leadership without vision is like sailing without a compass. You may move, but you won't move with purpose. You might work hard, but without a clear direction, you'll just go in circles. A strong vision gives meaning to your actions. It helps you and your team stay focused on what truly matters. Vision doesn't have to be big and flashy. It just needs to be clear and true. It's not about changing the whole world in a day. It's about making a real difference, step by step. Maybe your vision is to build a business that treats people fairly. Maybe it's to create a classroom where every student feels safe. Maybe it's to lead a family with love and strength. Whatever your vision is, it must come from your heart. Let's talk about someone named Nadia. She worked as a nurse in a small town hospital. Her job was hard, long hours, few resources, and many patients. But Nadia had a vision. She wanted every patient to feel seen and cared for, no matter how busy things got. This vision guided her choices. It pushed her to greet each person with warmth, to help coworkers when they were tired, and to keep learning, even after long shifts. Over time, others noticed. The mood in the hospital changed. Kindness grew. Patients smiled more. Her vision didn't make headlines, but it made lives better. And that's true leadership. A leader's vision should be shared. Don't keep it locked inside. Talk about it. Write about it. Show it through your actions. When others see your passion, they catch it too. Your vision becomes their vision. That's how you build strong teams, not by control, but by inspiration. But vision must also be real. Some leaders speak of dreams they don't believe in. They talk big, but live small. That kind of leadership fades fast. A real vision starts with you. You must believe it first. You must feel it deeply. You must commit to it, even when no one else understands. Vision takes courage, because when you dream of something better, people may doubt you. They may say it's not possible, or you're just dreaming. But all great things once sounded impossible. Planes, phones, ending injustice, healing the sick, teaching children to read. Every great change began with someone who said, "I see a better way." Let's remember James, a janitor who worked at a local school. His job wasn't seen as powerful, but James had a vision. He wanted every child who walked through those halls to feel safe and proud of their school. So he kept the school spotless. He smiled at kids every morning. He reported broken things quickly and fixed what he could. Over time, students began to feel something different, a sense of care, of dignity. James didn't lead with a title, he led with vision, and that vision lifted everyone around him. Vision also requires patience. Big dreams don't happen overnight. There will be obstacles. There will be setbacks. That's why leaders must keep their eyes on the bigger picture. When problems come, and they will, your vision reminds you why you started. It keeps you going when others give up. Think of Rosa, who started a food program in a poor neighborhood. Her vision was simple. No child should go to bed hungry. At first, very few people helped. Some even laughed. But she kept going. She cooked. She delivered meals. She told her story. Slowly, volunteers joined. Donations came. Years later, her program fed hundreds every week. Why? Because she held on to her vision, even when it was hard. As a leader, your job is to see beyond today. Others may only see problems. You must see possibilities. Others may focus on the pain. You must point to the promise. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means believing that something better is still possible, even when reality looks dark. A clear vision gives your team energy. It's like a lighthouse in a storm. It tells people, this is where we're going. Stay with me. It helps people understand their role in the bigger story. When people feel they're part of something meaningful, they give their best. They don't just work for a paycheck. They work for a purpose. To lead with vision, you must also live the vision. Your actions must reflect your dream. If your vision is about kindness, you must be kind. If your vision is about excellence, you must give your best. You cannot preach one thing and live another. People follow what you do, not just what you say. Let's look at Marcus, who ran a small delivery company. His vision was to build a team where every driver felt respected and valued. So he did more than just talk about it. He checked in with his drivers. He gave bonuses for good work. He helped when someone had a family emergency. Slowly, his drivers stayed longer, worked better, and told others about the company. His vision became reality because he lived it daily. Leadership is not just about solving today's problems. It's about shaping tomorrow's world. That starts with vision. What do you want to see in the future? What breaks your heart that you want to fix? What dream keeps you up at night? That's where your vision lives. And remember, you don't need to be rich, famous, or perfect to have a vision. You just need to care deeply and act boldly. Vision is free, but it's also priceless. When you find your vision, you find your purpose. And when you follow it, others will follow you. Here are a few ways to grow your vision. Take time to dream. Step away from the noise. Think about what truly matters to you. Write your vision down. Make it clear. Make it personal. Share it with others. Speak it out loud. Let people feel your passion. Take small steps every day that move you closer to it. Stay committed when the road gets hard. Adjust the plan if needed, but never lose the dream. Your vision might start as a whisper, but if you stay faithful to it, it can become a shout that moves mountains. People are looking for leaders with heart, with direction, with belief in something more. Be that kind of leader. Lead with vision, not just plans. Plans can change, but vision stays steady. Vision is your North Star. It reminds you who you are and why you lead. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders, and it helps others believe in something bigger than themselves. So ask yourself today, what is my vision? What kind of world do I want to help build? Then go live it, one step at a time, one day at a time. Because when you lead with vision, you don't just guide people, you inspire them. And that is the true power of leadership. Chapter 7. Build trust through your actions. Leadership without trust is like a car without fuel. It may look strong, but it goes nowhere. Trust is the foundation of real leadership. It's what makes people follow you not because they have to, but because they want to. You don't earn trust with big speeches or fancy titles. You earn it by how you live, how you treat others, and how consistent you are over time. The truth is, people watch what you do more than what you say. You might say you believe in honesty, but if you lie when things get hard, people will notice. You might say you value teamwork, but if you always take the credit, your team will feel it. Trust grows when your actions match your words, again and again. Let's look at a woman named Diana, who worked in a retail store. She wasn't the manager, but she was someone people looked up to. Why? Because she was always on time, always respectful, and always did her best. If she said she would help, she did. If she made a mistake, she admitted it and fixed it. Over time, others trusted her, and when a manager position opened up, everyone said she should get it. Diana didn't chase trust, she earned it. As a leader, your job is to build a space where trust can grow. That means being honest, even when it's uncomfortable. Don't hide your mistakes or blame others. Admit when you're wrong. People respect a leader who is humble and real. No one expects you to be perfect, but they do expect you to be honest. Let's talk about promises. One of the fastest ways to lose trust is by making promises you can't keep. It's better to say, "I'll try," than to say, "I guarantee it," and then let people down. Think before you commit. And when you do give your word, treat it like gold. If something happens and you can't follow through, explain why. People will understand if you're open with them. But silence or excuses, that breaks trust fast. Trust is also built when you treat everyone with respect, not just the people who agree with you or the ones in high positions. How you treat the person with the least power says a lot about your character. Leaders who are kind to everyone create loyal teams. People want to follow someone who sees their worth. Take the example of Raj, a factory supervisor. He made it a point to learn every worker's name. He asked about their families, celebrated their small wins, and listened when they had problems. He didn't act better than anyone. He saw himself as part of the team, not above it. And because of that, when the company went through tough times, his team stood by him. They worked harder, not because they were told to, but because they trusted him. Another way to build trust is to give credit to others. When things go well, don't take all the praise. Shine the light on your team. Let them know you see their effort. A leader who shares success builds stronger bonds. On the flip side, when things go wrong, take responsibility. Don't point fingers. That's how trust grows. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Listening is also key to building trust. Don't just hear people, really listen. Put away distractions, look them in the eye, show them you value their words. Ask questions, be curious. Even if you don't agree, listening shows respect, and respect is the root of trust. Think about May, a youth leader in her community. She worked with teenagers who often felt ignored by adults, but May listened. She made them feel heard. She didn't judge. She guided them with care. Because of that, they opened up to her, followed her advice, and grew into confident young adults. May didn't lead with control. She led with connection. Another important point, be consistent. Trust doesn't grow from one good act. It grows from many good acts, repeated over time. Be the same person on good days and bad. Don't let your mood decide how you treat people. Let your values guide you. Show up again and again as someone others can rely on. This doesn't mean you won't have tough moments. Everyone does. You'll have days when you're tired, upset, or unsure. That's okay. What matters is how you handle those moments. Do you lash out, or do you pause and breathe? Do you blame others, or do you take a step back and reflect? Every decision you make is a chance to build or break trust. Let's remember Tom, a volunteer leader for a charity group. One day, an event he organized went completely wrong. Supplies didn't arrive, guests were unhappy, and the team felt defeated. Tom stood up, apologized sincerely, and took full responsibility. He didn't blame his team. He thanked them for their effort and worked with them to fix things. That moment didn't destroy his leadership, it strengthened it. because people saw that he cared more about the mission than about saving face. You don't have to be perfect to build trust. You just have to be real, be human, be honest, be kind. People follow leaders they believe in, not leaders who pretend to be flawless. Also, be fair. If you give someone a warning for being late, but let someone else slide for the same thing, people notice. Be fair in how you treat others. Be fair in how you make decisions. Don't play favorites. Don't let your personal feelings get in the way of what's right. Fairness builds trust that lasts. Trust also grows when you protect others. Stand up for your team. Speak up when something is wrong. Don't stay silent in the face of injustice. Be someone who defends what's right, even when it's hard. When people see that you have their back, they will have yours. Finally, be patient. Trust takes time. You can't force it. You can't rush it, but you can build it day by day, choice by choice. Every time you do the right thing, you lay another brick in the foundation of trust, and over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. Let's review some key ways to build trust through your actions. Be honest, even when it's hard. Keep your promises or explain when you can't. Treat everyone with respect, no matter who they are. Give credit to others. Take responsibility for mistakes. Listen deeply and without judgment. Be consistent in your words and actions. Be fair in your treatment of everyone. Stand up for your team and what's right. Be patient and keep showing up with integrity. Leadership is not about being perfect. It's about being trustworthy. And trust doesn't come from titles. It comes from truth, from the small things you do every day, from the way you treat people when no one's watching, from the strength of your word and the kindness of your heart. So lead in a way that makes others feel safe, seen, and valued. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Be the kind of leader people believe in, not because you demand it, but because you've earned it. That is how trust is built. That is how leadership grows. And that is how you unlock the power to truly inspire others. Chapter 8, Turn Failures into Fuel. Every leader, no matter how strong or smart, will face failure. It's not a question of if, it's a matter of when. The difference between average people and great leaders is not that great leaders never fall, but that they rise again. They learn from their mistakes, they grow. They become wiser and stronger because of what went wrong, not in spite of it. In fact, failure can become your most powerful teacher if you're willing to listen. Most people fear failure. It makes them feel ashamed or embarrassed. Some even give up completely after one bad experience. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey to success. You cannot unlock your full leadership until you've walked through the fire, felt the heat, and come out stronger. Let's talk about Carla, who started a small bakery in her neighborhood. At first, things were going well. Customers were happy and business was growing. But one season, her supplier failed to deliver key ingredients and she had to close for weeks. Bills piled up. Her confidence dropped. She thought about quitting. But instead of giving up, Carla took the time to review her mistakes. She found new suppliers, made smarter deals, and created a backup plan for emergencies. She reopened her bakery, and over time, it became even more successful than before. Why? Because failure taught her how to prepare better and lead smarter. When you fail, don't rush to hide it. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Face it head on. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Take notes, reflect, own your mistakes, but don't carry shame. Failure is not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you're trying. You're in the arena. You're taking risks. That already makes you stronger than those who never try at all. A real leader doesn't just bounce back from failure. They use it as fuel. They ask, how can this make me better? And then they act on it. Growth comes from discomfort. The moments that stretch you are the ones that shape you. Sometimes failure is loud, like losing a job or watching a dream fall apart. Other times it's quiet, a project that didn't go as planned, a conversation that ended badly, a missed opportunity. Big or small, every failure is a chance to grow. But you have to make that choice. You can't grow if you only blame others. Take responsibility and then take action. Here's another story. Luis, a public speaker, once gave a talk at an important conference. He had worked hard, but on the day of the event, he froze on stage. He forgot his lines, stumbled through his message, and walked off feeling humiliated. It would have been easy to quit. Instead, he watched the recording, asked for feedback, and practiced even more. He faced his fear and learned how to stay calm under pressure. A year later, he gave the same talk again, this time with confidence and clarity, and he got a standing ovation. His failure became the turning point that made him a better leader. Failures also remind us to be humble. When things always go right, it's easy to become proud or careless. But when things go wrong, we remember that we're human. That humility is important. It makes us kinder, more thoughtful, and more open to the ideas of others. And those are powerful leadership traits. Some of the world's greatest leaders faced huge failures. Abraham Lincoln lost several elections before becoming president. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. What do they all have in common? They didn't let failure stop them. They kept moving forward. They believed in their purpose, even when the world said no. As a leader, your response to failure will shape how others see you. If you give up easily, your team will too. But if you stand tall, learn and try again, your example will inspire others to do the same. People follow courage. People follow resilience. And don't just grow from your own failures. Learn from others too. Read their stories. Listen to their lessons. You don't have to make every mistake yourself to gain wisdom. A smart leader learns from every source possible. Let's talk about emotional resilience. When you fail, emotions will rise. Disappointment, frustration, even sadness. That's normal. Feel those emotions, but don't live in them. Don't let them define your next step. Give yourself space to feel, then rise up and take action. Emotions are real, but they don't have to control you. You are stronger than a moment. Failure also helps you discover what truly matters. Sometimes we chase the wrong goals. We try to please everyone. We try to be perfect. When failure comes, it clears the noise. It forces you to ask, why am I doing this? What do I really want? That clarity can lead you to your true path. Here's the story of Amina, who tried to start a fashion brand. Her first few collections didn't sell well, and she lost a lot of money. At first, she blamed the market. Then she paused and took a deeper look. She realized she had been creating designs to impress others, not to express her true style. So she changed direction. She started designing clothes that told stories, clothes that connected to her roots and values. This new vision caught people's attention. Her brand grew, not because she avoided failure, but because failure helped her find her voice. Remember this, failure is not final, it's feedback. It's not a dead end, it's a detour. And sometimes the detour leads to something even greater than what you first planned. Here are a few practical ways to turn failure into fuel. Reflect, don't react. Take time to understand what happened and why. Own your part. Blaming others might feel easier, but it won't help you grow. Write down lessons learned. Keep a journal. Use each mistake as a step upward. Make a new plan. Don't stay stuck in regret. Adjust and move forward. Share your story. Let others learn from your journey. Your honesty could inspire someone else. Stay hopeful. Believe that better is still ahead, even if you don't see it yet. There's no shame in failing. The only real failure is quitting before you've learned the lesson. Every time you rise again, you become more powerful. You become more ready to lead. Because leadership is not about always being right. It's about being real, being strong, and being willing to grow. So don't fear failure. Welcome it. Let it teach you. Let it mold you. Let it make you the leader you were meant to be. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep leading. Because the most inspiring leaders are not those who've never fallen. They're the ones who stood up after the fall, wiped the dust from their shoulders, and walked forward with a new fire in their eyes. That fire is inside you too. Let it burn. Chapter 9. Lead by lifting others. True leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room or standing above others. Real leadership is about lifting people up. It's about helping others grow, shine, and discover their own strength. When you lead with the heart of a servant, when your goal is to support and raise others, you become the kind of leader people respect, trust, and follow with all their hearts. Great leaders don't try to be the center of attention. They don't need to control everything. Instead, they shine a light on others. They ask, how can I help you succeed? They look for the potential in every person, even those who don't see it in themselves yet. and they take the time to develop that potential. Let's talk about a man named Marco. He worked in a tech company as a team leader. He wasn't the smartest or most skilled person in the room, but he was deeply respected by everyone. Why? Because Marco always encouraged his team. He helped the shy programmer find her voice during meetings. He gave credit to the junior staff when projects went well. When someone made a mistake, he didn't scold them. He guided them. Over time, his whole team grew stronger, more confident, and more creative. Not because Marco made it about himself, but because he made it about them. That's the power of lifting others. You build leaders, not followers. You create a culture where people feel safe, valued, and empowered to bring their best selves forward. And in doing so, you multiply your impact. One leader can do a lot, but a team of empowered individuals can do something truly great. Leadership isn't about always having the answers. It's about asking the right questions. When someone comes to you with a problem, don't jump to fix it right away. Ask them what they think. Let them share ideas. Encourage them to think deeply. Give them space to learn and grow. That's how you raise thinkers, not just task doers. We often believe that to lead, we must be strong and never show weakness. But lifting others sometimes means being open about your own struggles. When you share your journey, your ups and downs, others feel connected to you. They see you as real. They realize it's okay to stumble as long as you keep going. That gives them courage to face their own challenges. A woman named Alina, who worked in education, once led a project that completely failed. Instead of hiding it, she called a team meeting and shared the lessons she had learned. She even asked for advice from the junior members. That moment changed everything. Her honesty and humility inspired her team. From that day forward, they worked with more trust, more openness, and more motivation. Alina's strength wasn't in hiding her flaws. It was in using them to lift her team higher. As a leader, always look for ways to recognize effort and growth. Don't just praise results. Celebrate progress. Say things like, "I see how hard you're working," or "Your confidence is growing," or "You've really improved in this area." These small words can make a big impact. People blossom when they know someone notices their effort. And don't forget to listen. Sometimes lifting others means simply being present. When someone feels heard, they feel respected. Give people your full attention. Don't interrupt. Don't rush them. Let them speak and show them their voice matters. A true leader listens more than they speak. One of the greatest gifts you can give someone is belief. Believe in their potential, even when they doubt it. Say, "I believe you can do this," and mean it. Your belief can light a spark in someone's life. That spark can grow into confidence, courage, and greatness. Consider Jake, a high school basketball coach. One of his players, Tim, was quiet and unsure of himself. He rarely played in games and never believed he was good enough. But Jake saw something in him. He gave Tim extra practice, encouraged him daily, and told him he had leadership qualities. Over time, Tim began to believe it too. By his final year, Tim became captain of the team, not because he was the best player, but because he was the most supportive, the most consistent, and the one who lifted others up. Jake's belief in Tim changed his life. Leadership is not a competition. It's not about being better than others. It's about bringing out the best in others. When you help others grow, you grow too. When you teach, you learn. When you serve, you lead. Also, don't be afraid to share opportunities. If you're given a platform, invite others to stand beside you. If you have knowledge, pass it on. If you have influence, use it to open doors for those behind you. That's how you build a legacy. Not by holding power, but by sharing it. Even small actions can lift people. A kind word, a helpful tip, a reminder that they matter. You never know how much someone needs encouragement. Your support might be the turning point in someone's life. And let's not forget that sometimes people lift you too. Leadership is a circle, not a straight line. When you create a supportive environment, others will support you back. They'll step up, take responsibility, and even inspire you to grow further. That's the magic of shared leadership. Here are some simple but powerful ways to lead by lifting others. Encourage often. Never underestimate the power of a kind word. Listen fully. Be present. Let people feel heard. Share your journey. Be open about your challenges and what you've learned. Give credit. Celebrate others' efforts and wins. Ask questions. Help people think, not just follow. Provide chances. Let others take the lead sometimes. Believe in people. Your faith in them could change everything. Teach what you know. Share your knowledge freely. Support growth. Be patient and guide others with care. Lead with love. Respect, kindness, and compassion are leadership superpowers. When you lift others, you build something bigger than yourself. You create a team, a family, a movement. You help people believe in their own abilities. And in doing that, you make the world around you stronger, kinder, and more inspired. You don't need a crown to lead. You don't need to be the loudest or the most talented. You just need a heart that wants to help, eyes that see the good in others, and hands that are ready to support. Leadership is not about being on top. It's about being underneath, holding others up, helping them climb. That's where real strength lives. That's where greatness begins. So lead in a way that builds people. Speak life, give hope, share the journey. Because when you lift others, you rise too. And together you can reach heights you never could alone. Chapter 10, Lead with Purpose, Leave a Legacy. Leadership without purpose is like a ship without a compass. It may move, but it drifts. To truly unlock your leadership, you must lead with clear purpose. You must know why you do what you do. When your actions are guided by purpose, they gain power. When your choices are rooted in meaning, they leave a mark that lasts far beyond your lifetime. Purpose is what keeps you going when things get tough. It's what brings you back to your feet when you fall. It's what gives you energy, direction, and courage. Purpose is not just about personal success, it's about making a difference. When you lead with purpose, you don't just live for today. You build something for tomorrow. You leave a legacy. Many people chase titles, money, or recognition, but those things fade. What stays is how you made others feel. What remains is the lives you touched, the hearts you lifted, and the changes you inspired. Legacy is not about being remembered. It's about what you pass on. It's the light you leave behind, not just the spotlight you stood in. Let's take the story of Hannah, a nurse who worked in a small hospital. She never had a big title or public attention, but she treated every patient like family. She comforted the lonely, encouraged the sick, and mentored younger nurses with kindness and care. When she retired after 40 years, hundreds of people wrote letters thanking her, not because she had power, but because she had purpose. Her leadership lived in the way she served others. That was her legacy. You don't have to be famous to leave a legacy. You just have to be intentional. Ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? What kind of impact do I want to make? What message do I want my life to speak? When you lead with purpose, you begin to live every day with more focus. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop trying to impress people who don't understand your journey. You start making choices that align with your values and your vision. That alignment creates strength. To find your purpose, you must look inward. Think about what lights you up. What problems do you feel drawn to solve? What values are so important to you that you would defend them, even when it's hard? Your purpose lives in those places. Don't wait for the perfect time or a perfect plan. Start where you are. Your purpose might begin small, helping one person, changing one habit, sharing one idea. But over time, those small steps create waves, and those waves can touch lives you never even meet. Here's the story of Jamal, a young man who grew up in a tough neighborhood. He saw how many kids got lost to drugs or crime. He made a choice. His purpose would be to help young people believe in their future. He started with a few kids, helping with homework and talking about life. Then he created a small after-school center. Over the years, his work grew. Many of those kids went on to finish school, get jobs, and give back to others. Jamal's legacy was not built in one big moment. It was built in many small, purposeful actions, repeated again and again. Leading with purpose means you stay true to your values, even when it's hard. It means you don't take shortcuts that hurt others. It means you speak up for what's right, even when your voice shakes. Your character becomes your compass. And when people see that, they trust you. They follow you, not because they have to, but because they want to. Legacy is not only what you do, but who you become. Are you kind when no one is watching? Do you stand for truth even when it costs you? Do you give your best even when no one claps? These choices shape your legacy more than any trophy ever will. As you grow in leadership, remember, it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's about choosing depth over speed, meaning over image, and impact over applause. You may not see the results right away. Sometimes the seeds you plant today will bloom long after you're gone. But plant them anyway. Be faithful with what's in your hands. One kind word can echo for years. One brave decision can inspire generations. Also, teach others to lead with purpose. Share your journey. Tell your story, not to boast, but to build. Let others learn from your wins and your wounds. Let them see that leadership is not a perfect path. It's a purposeful one. Encourage others to find their purpose too. Help them ask the right questions. Help them discover what they care about. When everyone leads with purpose, the world changes. As a leader, you may not always feel like you're doing something great. But remember, greatness often looks like quiet faithfulness, like showing up, like doing the right thing, even when it's unseen, like lifting others when no one's looking. That's the stuff legacies are made of. Purpose will keep you grounded. It will keep your ego in check. It will remind you that your leadership is not about you. It's about others. It will guide you through the storms and keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Here are some ways to lead with purpose and leave a legacy. Know your values. Be clear on what matters most to you. Let those values guide your choices. Live intentionally. Don't just react to life. Lead it. Make decisions with meaning behind them. Serve others. Use your time and skills to help others grow and succeed. Teach and mentor. Share what you know. Help others rise. Be consistent. Show up with integrity day after day. Stay humble. Remember, leadership is not about being above. It's about lifting up. Lead with love. Care deeply, forgive often, and give generously. Tell your story. Your life can inspire others when you share it with honesty and courage. Focus on impact, not applause. Do what matters, not just what's popular. Keep growing. Never stop learning. Never stop reaching for better. In the end, your leadership will not be measured by how high you climbed, but by how many people you brought with you. It will be defined by the light you sparked in others, the hope you gave, and the path you made easier for those who came after you. So lead with purpose. Let your life mean something. Let your days be filled with more than busyness. Let them be filled with impact. And when your time comes to look back, may you smile knowing that you gave your best, lived with heart, and left the world a little brighter than you found it. Because true leadership is not just about achieving success, it's about building something that lasts. It's about living a life that matters. That's the kind of leader the world needs. And that's the kind of leader you can be. Lead with purpose, leave a legacy, and never forget, you were born to make a difference. Conclusion. Your leadership journey starts now. Leadership is not just a position. It's not a job title or a role given to you by someone else. Leadership is a choice. It's a mindset. It's a decision you make every day to live with courage, to serve with love, to speak with honesty, and to act with purpose. And the beautiful truth is this: the power to lead has always been inside you. Throughout this book, we've walked through the many parts of becoming a great leader. We've talked about finding confidence, building trust, facing challenges, taking responsibility, staying calm, lifting others, and leading with vision. We've explored how leadership is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about staying true to yourself and helping others find their strength along the way. Now that you've reached this final chapter, take a moment to reflect. Look back at your own journey, your wins, your mistakes, your growth. You may not have realized it, but every time you helped someone, stood for what was right, or pushed through a tough moment, you were showing signs of leadership. The seeds have already been planted in you. Now it's time to let them grow. You don't need to wait for someone to give you permission to lead. You don't need to have all the answers or the biggest stage. Just start where you are with what you have. Begin with small actions. Lead in your home, at work, in your community, or even in your own heart. Change starts when you take the first step. The world doesn't need more leaders who chase fame. It needs more leaders who care, leaders who listen, leaders who show up, even when it's hard, leaders who put people first. That can be you. That is you, if you choose it. Remember, leadership is not about being above others. It's about walking beside them. It's about lifting them when they fall and helping them believe they can rise. It's about setting an example, not by being the loudest, but by being the kindest, the bravest, and the most honest. Your story matters. Your voice matters. Your actions matter. Every day you have the power to influence someone's life in a positive way. That is leadership. And every time you lead with love, with truth, and with purpose, you create a ripple that can go far beyond what you see. So go out into the world with courage. Believe in yourself. Stand strong in your values. Keep growing, keep learning, and never forget why you started. Be the kind of leader who doesn't just make noise, but makes a difference. The journey of leadership isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Because when you lead with heart, you leave something behind that truly lasts. A better world, touched by your hands, your words, and your example. You are ready. You are capable. You are enough. Now go unlock your leadership and help others unlock theirs. The world is waiting for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving your time, your heart, and your attention to this journey. Listening to unlock your leadership means you made a powerful choice to grow, to rise, and to lead with purpose. This book was written for you, for the dreamer, the fighter, the believer inside you, for the person who knows there's more to life, more to give, and more to become. And now you've taken the first step toward becoming the leader you were always meant to be. Never forget, leadership is not about having a title. It's about making an impact. It's about lifting others, speaking truth, showing kindness, and standing strong even when it's hard. That power already lives inside you, and now it's unlocked. As you move forward, lead with courage, walk with faith, act with love, and no matter what comes your way, always remember, you are capable, you are strong, and you were born to lead. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening. And if this message inspired you, please support the Fearless Audio channel. Subscribe, share, and help us spread more strength, more light, and more fearless leadership across the world. Your journey is just beginning. Keep going, keep growing, and never stop unlocking your leadership. Thank you.